Action.
This plaque was over on the corner over there, this rock with the plaque on it saying Battle of Bloody Island. And when I first saw it, it kind of like said battle. There's nothing but women and children and old people there, what they call in the battle. And this is murder. And so I called Caltrans, I told them how I felt about it. And I felt that this should be changed and the truth should be told. And they said, okay, if you want to do that, you have to pay for it. They want to charge me $3,000 or $4,000 to buy a new plaque, and reword it. Well, anyway, I told them, no, I don't have the money, but maybe 2 or 3 years passed, and somebody went and stole the plaque. And of course, I got blamed for it, but I didn't do it. And then the Caltrans called me up and says, hey, we're going to put a new plaque in there. You want to, be a part of it and rewrite it? And said, okay. So this is who we are down here, the Lucy Moore Foundation, right down here, the Lucy Moore Foundation. That's who we are. And I have 2 partners, Jim Blue Wolf and John Pepin. And man, we wrote a big, I don't know how long that thing was, we wrote. And they go, that's too long, so they cut it down, and this is the words that they came up with, I wanted to put child molestation, and they says, no, we can't do that because children will read it. Well, I'm saying, why can't we tell the children, finally tell them the truth?
Right.
Because this is what these 2 guys did: child molestation, child abuse, child killing, child selling, sell them in trafficking. And and everything that you can break a law on abusing, molesting, raping, killing a child, these guys did it. And so what happened to them, to me, was an execution. And after that execution, over 3,400 people got murdered,
wow.
of 2 pedophiles.
Wow.
And that's here in Lake County, Mendocino County, Sonoma County, And so and then plus, after they killed the people here at Bloody Island, there was a mound on the left side, on the east side of this peak. There's another mound up there like that. And on the east side of that mound, they built, the men came home, imagine, the fathers coming home, and the brothers, and the uncles coming home, seeing all their family laying there dead, their women, and their children and all that. It took 5 days to gather up all the bodies, and they brought it to that mound over there on the east side, buried them, cremated, and then left to hide, I guess. Well, 1956, the Army Corps of Engineer comes along, cuts that mound down, and now it's under this road right here. So they could make the road. All people are buried under this road. Who's responsible for this? Who's going to take responsibility for this? Because I think they should go into court for them doing this, and I think they should pay each one of those 400 people the same thing they paid Floyd for, putting out there, it's like this guy, he had his foot on the neck of Floyd's neck, and he was looking out to the world and telling the world, you can't do a damn thing to me because I'm a white man, and the white man can do anything he wants for you guys. So that's what it was telling us, and that's the same thing they told here. You mess with this white people, this is what will happen to you and your children and your old people. And this was a lesson. I think they should pay for their lesson. It's time for change. I changed 2 mascots, and now for this town name, again, they're pedophiles, How can you be honoring somebody like that,
Right.
And then when you honor somebody like that, you're disrespecting us and our women. You're telling us that, it was okay to rape those little girls. It was okay to sell them. It was okay to do whatever you wanted to them,
Right.
So
they used to tell the parents to bring them the daughters.
They
type
would
of
tell
stuff.
the parents to bring them, and if they didn't, the parents got hung up in a tree and they got whipped, and they had to stay there all night, But the men, they went and got the little girls anyway, And this happened 2 or 3 times a week by both of these men, I don't call them men, I call them monsters.
Right.
And and John Sutter, another guy, and all these guys. Sutter, you could just list 1,000 names of the first forefathers here in California and what they wanted to do. They wanted complete extermination. California had so much, man, so much resources and just beautiful water, land, everything, and they wanted it and they stole it,
Right. And then they say the Vallejo brothers, the people that the city of Vallejo is named after, Salvador Vallejo.
They're the first well, see, that's what gets me. It's like Vallejo and them sold our land to these white guys. Okay, now what business does Vallejo have up here? How'd he get to own land that belonged to somebody else? You know what I mean? It's like, so this is how we were treated, and then that's what pisses me off, because it makes us invincible when you don't recognize that we were the first people with this land. And what they say is, oh, well, we sold it to you guys, and you guys bought it for 47 cents an acre of land. That's what they paid California Indians. 47 cents an acre of gold, an acre of silver, acre of oil, acre of timber, you know what I mean?
Right.
For 47 cents.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And again, there's over 4 million natives here in California natives. By the time the white man and the Spanish got through, there was 16,500 left. Mass murder.
Wow.
Okay? So somebody owes something, man. If they're going to give all this money back to, well, I believe the blacks, deserve something for the way they were treated. But you got to pay these native people, because they did the same thing to us. And the only difference is they did it on our land.
Right.
Our home,
Right.
And so, wake up, people. And you think you can go to heaven for that? I had a dream. And I asked in my dream, Creator, are you going to just forgive these people for what they've done? These settlers and pioneers and, all these guys, belong someplace else. Now they're claiming our land. Are you just going to forgive them and let them go to the spirit world, And I was asking this question in my dream. And then pretty soon this young Indian girl, she sticks her head out of the clouds, like, she goes, oh, those kind of people that rob, steal, kill, and rape. She goes, those kind of people, they're going to go to the basement. And I go, what's the basement? And I woke up. So that's what I'm sharing with these European people, We were taught never to go into anybody's home and treat them like that. We were taught to have respect for the elders. We were taught to have respect for the little ones and the women. That's what we were taught, and apparently nobody taught you guys that, You brought this Bible over, you don't even read, It's just, you do everything opposite of it. And what we're trying to do is save your bacon, man. We're trying to save your soul, white man, Better listen.
Right. Well, can you do us the honors real quick of reading that? We'll
Okay.
make sure that audio is in there.
Okay, it's 1/4 mile west is the island called Boron Napati.
Hold on, let me get on this side real quick. That way the cars are not in the background. All right, go ahead.
1/4 mile west is the island called Boron Napati, Old Island. Now Bloody Island. It was a place for native gatherings until May 15th, 1850. On that day, a regiment of the 1st Dragoons of the U.S. Cavalry, commanded by Captain Lyon and Lieutenant J.W. Davidson, massacred nearly the entire native population of the island. Most were women and children. This act was in reprisal for the killing of Andrew Kelsey and Charles Stone, who had long enslaved, brutalized, and starved indigenous people in the area. The island, now called a hill surrounded by reclaimed land, remains a sacred testament to this sacrifice of innocence. California Registered Historical Landmark number 427, plaque placed by the State Department of Parks and Recreation and in cooperation with the Lucy Moore Foundation, California Department of Transportation, and the United States Forest Service, May 15th, 2005. And these 1st Dragoons, I call them, they were pioneers and settlers, and they volunteered to do this. So these were volunteered serial killers, these pioneers and these settlers. And
Wow.
so, I mean, I can imagine when I do newspaper articles, sometimes I'll write, what if we had a Jeffrey Dahmer drive-through? I mean, it's the same thing,
Yeah.
John Sutter Hospital is the same thing as Richard Allen Davis Girls' School. I don't know
As
if you
who?
know. Richard Allen Davis, he raped this little white girl from Santa Rosa, and they said he was part Indian, right? Well, how come we don't name a town after him? See what I'm saying? It's just
Right.
like, it's just one-sided. And if you ain't white, you're not all right. You know, if you're brown, well, you know, don't stick around. If you're black, stay way back. You know?
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, this color thing is stupid. The border that we have with what they call Mexican people, they're native people, just like we were. They're called Mexicans and we're called Indians, you know, American Indians, Native Americans, and they're called Mexicans, you know, it's just different names, but we're the same tribal people. Traded with each other for thousands of years, and now they're locked out and all the people from Europe are welcomed, you know?
Right.
By the force of a gun, though, their Second Amendment. And this is how they do things, you know, with the Second Amendment. I got my gun, you know, and I'll do this and I'll do that. I mean, it's all like, gotta live in fear, you know?
Right.
It's that's not being a human being in my eyes.
Right. Well, let's take a quick trip to the